you are, those that know the EOS community, right? Gino Wickman is kind of, the God, right? The man. And you are the woman of this.
Well, thank you.
And everyone loves your message, celebrates you because you created this. And, the reality is most times the visionary or the the visionary is the one that's the CEO or whatever is more of the glory hugger or, hound, whatever. And they're the ones that are the face of the company. But the reality is the integrator is the one that runs the business and should be celebrated. And that's what I love that you're doing is not just the integrator thing, but you're empowering the women to like, hey, I'm running this thing and being proud of it and celebrate that with those around you and figure out how to get better.
No, I think it's funny because when we talk to a lot of people who are coming for the first time, and what they'll say is, I thought I was coming to learn. I had no idea everything else I was going to get, right? Yeah. So what I love to say is it's a whole human experience here. It's not just coming to get your professional needs fed and growing and developing as a second in command leader, but we talk about personal things, right? And I think the thing that still touches my heart is every single summit that we've had at least one person that comes up to us and says, I'm leaving here a different person than the one who arrived.
Yeah.
And that, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Welcome to The Roll Call, the podcast where we dive into the roles that define us. I'm your host, John Glahn. On each episode, we explore the journeys of people discovering their true roles in life, business, and beyond. Get ready for inspiring conversations about finding purpose and authenticity. Let's roll the roll call.
Welcome, everyone. John Glahn here. I have with me the lovely Kristie Clayton of HERverse, the founder, and I'm going to say visionary, and we'll come back to that later. We're all here and accounted for, so that's the roll call.
Nice.
So, Kristie, listen, I have you here. Well, one, we're on site that we're going to talk about some more for an amazing event that you started. Started as FEM, the Female Integrator Mastermind, is now Female Executive Mastermind.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm still getting there on that because it rebrand. And it's an amazing showcase of second in command, COOs, integrator, presidents, females around the country, to small and medium businesses. And it's an amazing amount of energy. You are on your 7th year, and there's way, way more into that. But I wanted Kristie to be here. One, I get to be here to be a part of it, my 2nd year. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And a part of the energy. It's so much fun. And you're inspiring so many women leaders, yourself. And then it's multiplying with everyone that you have here. So again, welcome, Kristie.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I always love when you and I get to have conversations. So when you asked, I was like, of course I will come and talk and just enjoy time with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So how this goes is wherever it's going to go.
Okay.
And first off, I would love for you to dive in now with all the changes and all the things that you're affecting now. What is Kristie leading today?
Oh, wow. That's a big question, right? Mm-hmm. So we went through a major complete branding and expansion this year where FEM, or Female Integrator Mastermind, has now evolved into HERverse. HER is an acronym that stands for Helping Executives Rise, and we do that in 3 ways. So FEM is still intact, but we have expanded beyond just integrators who are running their companies on EOS to now all women who are sitting in the second in command role. So we use a plethora of titles, like you said, anything from COO, president, vice president, director. I mean, we've heard it all, but we don't care what title you have. What we're really focused on is, are you working with the visionary to execute the vision of the company while running the day-to-day business? That's how we've kind of defined it. Mm-hmm. But then we also took the expansion one step further and said, hey, we recognize that our visionaries, we have a plethora of things that we can get involved in to stay connected to our peers. Our second in commands now have a few things that are available to them, and our leadership team members are starting to become hungry for that same peer interactions. Right. So we created Lead Her, and Lead Her is the organization, the community that we have for leadership team members who report to the second in command leader. Sure. And then the third leg of our stool is we are doing executive coaching for visionaries, second in command leaders, and leadership team members under Excel HER 8.
That's amazing. Born out of what? How did we get here? Where did you start this and
Yeah,
why?
it's so funny because FEM started as a passion project where I was if you can believe this, 10 years ago when I officially became an integrator running on EOS, I was the only female integrator in the state of Alabama.
Oh,
So when I wanted to connect with my peers, I had lots of male peers that I could connect with, but there were times, John, that my imposter syndrome would go off just because we do things differently. And I would be like, oh, am I really this integrator? And I'm not doing it the same way that they are. And my brain is working a little bit differently. And then I had an amazing opportunity to go to the very first Integrator Mastery Forum where I met with 50 integrators. And luckily there were four women that were there. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of started talking. And what we realized is, oh, wow, we actually do things very similar, not right or wrong.
right.
Just different than our peers. And so we started having conversations. And so I realized, wow, not only do I want to connect with my peers, but I most specifically want to connect with my female peers. And so I reached out to women that I had met and I said, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Can we just be in a little group chat where we're just helping each other out? And, if we have questions, we can help one another. Maybe we can cheerlead for each other, celebrate with one another because nobody celebrates what we celebrate. And just be that support for one another. And luckily 5 women said yes. And from there, it has grown to what it is today, and the expansion and all of the things. So I'm really, really grateful. Just to complete my story, I actually, I was the integrator of a wealth management firm, and I sold my partnership, and this is what I'm doing now. I found that with this passion project, something I was so passionate about connecting with my own peers, that it was really, truly my calling in life. It's what I meant to do. So I sold my partnership, and I am doing this full time. I'm coaching and leading the community.
Oh, and I could, it'd be fun if I could pop in a reel here of what actually happens here, right in the middle of here, of when just the energy that's here, right? You are, those that know the EOS community, right? Gino Wickman is kind of, the God, right? The man. And you are the woman of this.
Well, thank you.
And everyone loves your message, celebrates you because you created this. And, the reality is most times the visionary or the visionary is the one that's the CEO or whatever is more of the glory hugger or, hound, whatever. And they're the ones that are the face of the company. But the reality is the integrator is the one that runs the business and should be celebrated. And that's what I love that you're doing is not just the integrator thing, but you're empowering the women to like, hey, I'm running this thing, and being proud of it, and celebrate that with those around you, and figure out how to get better. Because that's the other part. This whole thing is learning. Everyone is just soaking up, right? I just did a breakout session, and everyone is just so engaged and just eating everything up. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I think it's funny because when we talk to a lot of people who are coming for the first time, and what they'll say is, I thought I was coming to learn. I had no idea everything else I was going to get, right? Yeah. So what I love to say is it's a whole human experience here. It's not just coming to get your professional needs fed and growing and developing as a second in command leader, but we talk about personal things, right? Yesterday we had a great session on personal vision planning and taking care of yourself first and making sure you know what you want to achieve. So there are sessions here that are going to help you with both. I love to say you come and learn, then you get to connect, then you get to go back and apply it. And that to me is the most amazing piece. And I think the thing that still touches my heart is every single summit that we have had, we've had at least one person that comes up to us and says, I'm leaving here a different person than the one who arrived.
Yeah.
And that, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Oh, no, and you are doing that continually. And to just not even make light of what you just said, right? It's not about the tactics of helping run a business better, that you are, that 2-hour personal planning session. That's not a normal professional expectation when you come to a mastermind or a summit or what else is out there. So I love that you've intermixed the both, because it's about the human. It's about the woman that's here. It's not the role.
Yeah, exactly. We're one human. We're not a business person and then a life person. Like, life is life, and we are one human. So if we can service them and support them in both their personal and their professional, and help their companies grow and get better, because listen, ultimately, women coming here and getting fed personally and professionally is only going to feed the company and make it better. Right? So it's a win-win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is within the last year or two that you've made the full transition to this, right?
Yeah.
What was the catalyst to make you take that leap?
It was a long journey for me that I loved being the integrator at the wealth management firm. I love and adore my team. I loved what the company was doing. I was truly passionate about them, no doubt about it. I still love them, still wish them success. But I started having people ask me questions like, gosh, when you talk about femme, your whole body language changes, your face lights up, and you just get like energy just pours out of you. And not that I didn't do the same thing with the firm, but it was just more so in this way. And so it kind of got me just questioning, like, what? And then like the final catalyst for me was really when a couple people asked me, when are you going to do that full time? And I was like, oh, no, that's my passion thing, and this is my real job. And then I just started having a lot of just like really long, honest, truthful conversations with myself, journaling, and really just self-discovery of, why did God put me on this earth? What am I here for? What is my purpose? And it's funny because yesterday I talked about it in the personal vision planning. It does sound a little bit morbid, but I really sat down and I was like, if somebody's reading a eulogy or if they're writing my obituary, what in the world do I want them to say about me? And that's when I realized, wow, like I truly am passionate about helping women develop as amazing leaders, but honestly, it's more so the confidence that I see come out of them when they're here and connecting and growing. And so when I just sat and thought, what is my purpose? What am I meant to do? That's when I realized, wow, I have to take a chance on this and I have to try it. I know what you're going to say. That's my visionary.
Well, I was going to ease into it, but we might as well go there. Actually, I was going to start with, did you consider yourself, because I know you said you were part owner in the wealth management firm. Did you consider yourself an entrepreneur then?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think I did.
Right. So did you ever think that you were going to be an entrepreneur? Is that,
No.
All right.
Absolutely not. Like I never, ever even, I don't think I ever imagined that this would be where I would end up and would be my calling and what I'm doing. Right. I truly loved running the business. I did. I mean, I know a lot of people are that weight on their shoulders of being the one that has to make all the decisions. Right. Like that's too much for them, but I love that responsibility. So I always thought that's what I would be doing. And I had several people, one of the first people I remember saying to me, Kristie, are you sure you're not visionary? Was Alec Broadfoot. And he had met me for like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times for a couple of hours. And I was like, of course not. Like I am a second in command. I'm an integrator. This is what I do. And I think I had trained my brain to be that way, right? I went to conferences, I read books. I had really, truly got all of the skills and knowledge that I could to be a really, really great second in command. I never dreamed of entrepreneurship or of being more visionary. It just never came to me until you and Alec.
That's where I was going. So, I want to get the winding path to here we are today because, I heard when we met, right, you were in an integrator seat for someone fractionally. And, the more I would hear about what FIM was doing, and the same thing, saw you light up and all your ideas, I'm like, holy cow. I mean, you're coming up with, again, such creative and fun ways to engage people. And I was like, Then we were doing a session with Working Genius. And with your permission, we're going to go, I don't need your, we're going there. So, so you had, I don't recall what if it was galvanizing and tenacity or something like that, where you had a typecast working genius that fit a integrator. Mm-hmm. And I recall after we went through some sessions of like, wait a minute, this just doesn't feel right. And I'm like, okay. And I agree. So let's take this again and again. Let's put it with the lens of what you love doing. And what came back?
Galvanizing and invention. Go
figure, right? Mm-hmm. And because you were taking it from a lens of what you think you're supposed to do or what you were or what you identified yourself as.
Yeah, for me, I honestly think I wasn't trying to take it to be somebody else, but that is what I was trained to do, right? Those are the skill sets that I had
really
honed.
Damn good at.
I did. Yeah. And so it was natural for me. So when I'm taking an assessment, asking me who I am, I'm like, well, this is who I am. Until you pushed me to say, no, wait, but who are you naturally?
Yeah.
And I think that's where I was like, whoa. Maybe I'm a little bit different than what is coming out on the sheet. And so that exploration was really what allowed me to really let go fully of integrator work and fully lean into being visionary. So I definitely give you a lot of credit for where I am.
I wasn't trying to get that.
No, I didn't say you were, but I want you to know that I do.
I was saying it jokingly because, it was leading to that. I'm just kidding. No, but the difference in the confidence that you have that I'm seeing from that's probably a year and a half ago. We can't remember the time. I mean, it was not that long ago, but seeing where you are today and stepping and leaning totally into this, because it does feel like just after that, you were rocketing into coaching and doing your own coaching, having pages. I'm seeing your LinkedIn pages that were just all so creative and beautiful, and boom, and here we are now. It's not. I thought before it was just about the FIM, the Female Integrator Mastermind, and then a summit, and it's not.
It's much more.
That's the fun stuff, but there's so much more going on.
Right. Well, I think that, again, I'm one that's been on this self-exploration journey for quite some time, really, truly, like trying to learn, like, who am I naturally? Who am I? What gifts do I bring to the world so that I can fulfill my purpose? And I think what I've learned and discovered over specifically the last year and a half, is that, am I a great integrator or great second in command? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's energy sucking for me. It's like a vampire just sucking my energy out. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I would sit on my couch and be like, oh, I'm so exhausted. Yeah. Like, please, I remember many times my husband would ask me a question. I'd be like, I really don't care. And I don't mean any disrespectful like this, but can you please make the decision? I cannot make another decision again. Like, no more decisions today. Yeah. But the difference between like being the visionary and the creative and coming up with these ideas and working with an integrator is that now I get to live in an energy boost. It's like drinking 12 Red Bulls. And I'm like, yes, 5 o'clock comes and I'm like, no, I don't want to shut down. I'm still going, so it's where you really gain that energy. And are you really great at one? Sure, you can be, but it doesn't mean that it's fulfilling to you, that it is giving you that boost. Yeah. And I think that's where I'm learning. Am I great at that? Yeah. Like, I really honed my skills. I really worked hard at that. Yeah. But I just gained my energy and my excitement. And I think my team helped me discover that too, when they said, Kristie, you're the only one that can do that for us, right? Like, you do bring the vision, you bring the stories, you bring the creative. Nobody else on the team does that. We need you in that space. And getting an integrator who can take care of the other things so that you can stay in that space. And I was, wait a minute, I can stay in this space? Heck yes, let's do this. Yeah. And so I brought on my integrator, Haley Plaster, who's amazing. Yeah. And we've been rocking and rolling. Superpower, right? When you have the right dynamic duo. She is fantastic. And how long did it take, maybe not even a great question, like how long did it take for you to like, wait a minute, I do get to do this, right? Was it like I know the whole journey has been a long journey, but like when them saying that to you actually be like, all right, you're right. Yeah. It took a minute, right? Because I'm so just naturally, like I would revert to integrator things,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to be that visionary who steps in and is consistently like going back into that role. So it was a very conscious decision for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, because I've been an integrator or second in command leader for 15, 20 years now. Like that's the role I've had even before I had EOS, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like that just came naturally to me. So every morning I'd have to wake up and have a very conscious decision not to do the things that I've been doing for so long and lean into where the team is saying that they need me the most. And this is where I gain my energy. And I felt guilty about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I felt like work had to be work. Work couldn't be this fun, right? Like, but it's so fun for me to be, in the creative space and thinking about things and, having conversations.
And that's amazing because then you do have, I'm assuming, that Haley loves doing what she's doing.
Oh, absolutely.
So it absolutely, right? Both living in that joy. I would imagine it would be difficult, really more difficult for you to stay in that because, those they're very, very few, I don't know the percentage, you probably know the percentage based, of visionaries that are also integrators and can do it, and not just because they've learned how to do it, but they actually do it well. That is like a alien to me. It's like so foreign, but you could do that, on small businesses where I think most people would hang on and try to do that for as long as they can. And then it's burnout and all that kind of stuff. So for you, really, really staying over there has to be difficult because you can do it, the other stuff.
I can, and it's 5% is what Gino says. That can actually do both. But I will. I tried for a very long. I did do it for a very long time with them, right? But what I've learned is when I release the integrator role and truly let her own it, it keeps me in the space that is the energy boost, right? Whereas if I'm bouncing back and forth, it's like boost, suck, boost, suck, boost, suck. And it's like, where like my energy is like, what am I even doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So by staying in energy boost, I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. And again, the team was like, you're the only one that does those things. Let us do the things that we can do, but you stay where you're the only one. And it was like, wow, okay, not only do I need to be there, but they need me there. And I think that was really the big trigger for me, was to say, hey, you need to stay in this space because the team needs you there too. Not just you, but the team needs you there too.
And I know that's what feeds you, right? Because you're helping first mentality, right? So that probably is the right trigger.
Oh, I love my team.
So I'm going to let folks in on how there was a question that I asked, how do you want to be introduced? And she's like, don't go with visionary because I'm not sure. I'm still not. Where are you?
Yeah.
Can you say it?
I don't know. I really do consider myself the founder. I don't know. Visionary just kind of seems like it's that dream world all the time. And I see things, I know things that I want us to do. But founder seems the most appropriate for me. Sure. And the most comfortable for whatever reason.
I know. That's weird. Again, even for me, because I'm not like the flaming visionary.
Yeah.
I'm not. But I have more of the qualities.
If I'm being honest, I think that does contribute to it. Is there's a lot of negative
there can be negative connotations.
Can be, right? And when I think about that, I'm like, because I say it all the time, I don't want to be that visionary, right? Yeah. I'm like, because we all do know that visionary that's challenging and difficult to work with, because they do have so many ideas and it's so hard to like rein in all of the things. And listen, they're like, wow, I wish I had a brain like that, right? Yeah. But I do think that there's a stigma a little bit around, you have to be this wild and crazy person who has 20 ideas a day. And I really pushed back for so long saying I was visionary at all, because I'm different than that, right? And so these labels of you have to create chaos and you have to have 20 ideas a day and you have to be a flaming visionary. I was like, but I'm not that. I'm very disciplined. I'm very thought out. Before I bring anything to anybody on the team, I think it through. How would we do this? When would we do this? So it felt contradictory, right?
Yeah.
visionaries create chaos. And I'm like, I don't know that I create chaos.
Right.
And so I didn't feel that. I didn't connect with the terminology of visionary. Sure. And what I realized is I need to let go of the labels, of the stereotypes. So I'm embracing it more and more, but founder still feels more comfortable.
No, I totally get that. Right. And it's just words.
Yeah, it
is. But
it's
words. Also people knowing again where you fit in the organization. Right. So it's clear. Yeah. Okay. Now, think about other roles, because I know that you have some fun hobbies outside of work, and generally consider, there's a pink color in there, and there's some other. So what excites you outside of the work?
Oh, outside of work. Well, first I have my Jeep. I have a 2020 Jeep Wrangler. She's a Rubicon. She's absolutely amazing. She's got a 4.5-inch lift, 37-inch wheels. She is my absolute baby. She's the back windshield has Rosie the Riveter, in a American flag on it, and she's blinged out, and she's just so much fun. So I love taking her out on the trails and getting my boots on and just getting dirty and having fun.
I love it.
Yes. Her name is Rosie. And so it's funny too, because her name is on the side of the Jeep, and people will call me Rosie, and I'm like, oh, no, she's Rosie, I'm Kristie. But we're in a Jeep club, actually a women's Jeep club, just helping women. And that's one of the things I hope I can get back into it. I've been a little distracted from it with all of the changes and HERverse growth and everything that we're doing. But I definitely do want to get back into it, because I really, when you think about Jeeps, a lot of people do think of like military and, Jeep trailing and, all of the things. And so it becomes a masculine thing, right? And I'm like, oh, no, women can ride too. In fact, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you go you trail riding. Does your husband drive? No, he does not. He does not drive my Rosie at all. He has his own Jeep Gremlin that he drives. So I just want to show women that, hey, we can do whatever the heck we want to do, and stop telling people you can't do something.
That's awesome. So what got you into that? Was it because you both have a love for Jeeps, or were you like, where did this?
I remember when I was young, I had a Geo Tracker because I wanted a Jeep. Yeah. And I ended up with a Geo Tracker, and then
I remember
lots of things. I know, right? They were so cute and fun. Yeah. We used to take the top off and go riding and having fun, and I don't know. I just always have had a love for a Jeep, and it was like my dream. There are two vehicles that I want more than anything, and one of them was a Jeep, and I wanted it to be jacked up and all of the fun things. She's as crazy as she is, and she really is. She's very tall, very very bulky. Like she's a very She holds her own, that's for sure. But as big and bad as she is, she's also blinged out and very, very feminine too. So across my windshield, it says bad and bougie just to reflect both sides of her. But I don't know. I just always had this dream of having a Jeep and, going riding. Growing up, my friends we would always go four-wheeling and stuff. So we always had fun riding in the mud. And then I got mine. I got Rosie in July of 2022. And then my husband, like 2 weeks later, sold his vehicle and got one too. So now we go trail riding on weekends. We, like I said, we're in a Jeep club where we've just formulated these great group of friends, and I'm indebted to them. They're the most amazing women. But one of the things I really hope to do is, like I said, is to really show women that, hey, you can do this too, and teach them how, what I discovered is when we were going trail riding, a lot of them didn't know how to put their Jeep in four-wheel drive. Nobody ever taught us how to do those kind of things, right? Yeah. How do I use my winch, and, how do I do all of these things? So I hope to be able to help them with those kind of things.
That's great. I think where, just connected and clicked with me is where, did you start this club, or was it?
Of course. Right. Well, I joined one, and then a couple of us decided we wanted to break off on our own.
No, and that's where I think there's another superpower or something that you're bringing to the world, which is creating community.
Thank you.
And that is not easy to do. It takes some persistence. It takes a vision. It takes the ability to get people to follow you or to want to follow you. and creating a safe space, because both of the things that, and I'm sure there's going to be another one coming, that you're creating is a safe space for certainly for women, but I think it's transferable for anyone. Is creating a safe space to celebrate who you are regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. I feel like your story is still going with that too.
Yeah.
Because that is here it's not about again, there's bling, there's pink, there's all these fun things, and people aren't here for that. They are. I mean, it's great. But
no, those are branding things, though, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
but
fuchsia, indigo, and sapphire.
Yeah, but they're here for the community, and so that's what you see. You see that with everyone.
Yeah.
Here.
What I love the most about these women is they genuinely care about each other. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, we have women who have been here since the very beginning of FEM, who went to the very first retreat that we had in Nashville, 7 years ago, and they still come every single year. They still connect every single year. And we have women, this is their first one. And regardless of whether it's your first or your seventh or anything in between, they genuinely care about you. They want to get to know you. They want to get to know your story. They want to be able to, how can I help you? How can I contribute to your success? And, how can I help? What can I do? And when we're able to do that with each other, listen, women are, I've witnessed two things with women, and it's devastating to me, the first one. And I've been part of women's organizations where women were climbing on top of each other, right? You were just trying to get to the next ladder. And, it wasn't a, hey, here's my hand, I'm pulling you up with me. It was a, I'm kicking you down. You stay down there. I'm rising to the top. And I did not want anything like that. There's no power in that. The power that women have is when we come together to say, hey, friend, grab my hand. I'm bringing you with me.
Yeah.
We're doing this together, right? And when you see that woman who's not quite, there and is struggling, you grab her hand and you pull her with you, right? Because there's going to come a time when she's pulling you with her. Yeah. And that's what these women do. That's what these women do all day. In Summit, it happens. Sorry. It happens all the time. I see it. I witness it. But outside of here, they stay connected. They genuinely connect with each other. One of my favorite things that I get to see, and it happens every single year, and I literally stand in a corner and I just watch it happening, is when women, when we're first arriving and they see each other and they're like on opposite ends of the hallway, and they run and they embrace and they're like, I'm so happy to see you. And they genuinely are happy. And they're catching up. How have things been? What's going on in your world? And they genuinely love each other and just care so deeply about each other's success. They're not keeping things for gatekeeping anything, right? They're sharing, they're helping, they're coaching, they're mentoring. They're there for each other.
No, and actually, that's an experience share.
I think passionate there.
Within 30 seconds of me arriving, right? I know quite a few people in the community, and I get, actually without fail, the first 4 people I saw, and you were one of them, was a hug, and it was not a light hug, and it wasn't a short hug, and it was like, oh, all right, and that is, everyone is just so welcoming and help first, and I love it.
I know. It was a funny story. There's a sky bridge that goes from the rooms here over to the meeting space. And a first-time attendee walked up to me and she said, I met this lady and she told me that she hopes I really like hugs because I need to be ready. Even though I'm a first time, I need to be ready for all the embraces.
Absolutely.
But I think it's just representative of how they embrace each other.
Absolutely. Now, really quick, those that you can show that what's on the table. So this little blingy bracelet. So Armando, my man who is, enabling me to have this show, saw that was a bracelet that she was wearing, and he was saying, hey, that's going to clack around because we know we both use our hands. So it's going to clack around and cause the noise. But I want to share. So we said, okay, we'll take it off. And I said, well, and she said, what meaning is that bracelet?
Oh yeah. So we have a true mastermind that meets monthly, And this is a representation of them and all of the places that they have been. So we started meeting 3 years ago. In fact, our first one was at Summit in Chicago. And so there is a charm bracelet for every place that this group has been together. So they go to summits together, they go on retreats together. And so every single time we go somewhere, we have a charm for us to remember where we have been. And it's really fun because I can, I'm looking at the hat and the shoe and the guitar, and it immediately takes me back to Nashville and all the things that we did there. And there's a little color wheel here that's representative of when we went to Indianapolis together, and we had this amazing just fun activity where we went to House of Colors and learned what colors look good on our skin tone so that we can look really great and wearing colors. But these are the things that we do together, and every single one of them just represents so much, of what we have done. And I look back at it and I look at Chicago and I look at Arizona where we are today and how this particular group of women have just grown and developed, and they inspire me.
Yeah. No, and I go, no, it's going both ways. Well, in closing, what I like to do is ask, like visionary, I'm trying to find the right words to use because it's not what I like to have an example, a story of a failure, which I don't love that word, or a mistake or a misstep or something that's happened to you that you think the audience can learn from.
Ooh, how about a challenge?
Sure. Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Let's see. I really think I think this is one is I think the energy thing really did. It was such a big challenge for me for so long because I attached my identity to being an integrator.
Yeah.
Right. I read the book Traction. I remember reading Gino's words and being like, oh my goodness, somebody finally gets me. They understand me because they wrote a book about me. And I had so many people in my professional career who'd said, you're so weird. Like, why do you think about those things? And literally I had one of my visionaries would call me a weirdo. Weirdo, why do you think about that? Like, why does that matter to you? And I'm like, well, it matters in the big scope of things, right? Mm-hmm. So I had attached my identity to, I am an integrator. Mm-hmm. I am so much more than that. I am a wife. I am a friend. I am a child of God. I am an aunt. There's a million things that I am. So attaching your identity to one thing is one of the reasons I hesitated so much of letting it go. But I will say, releasing that, I remember when I put that on LinkedIn and said, I am a recovering integrator and I am leaning into being a visionary. It was the first day that I truly felt like I had released that and I felt freedom to be my natural true self, not an identity that I was attached to.
Well, that's beautiful. And you are impacting others because of it, because of your passion project.
My passion project is now my passion for sure.
That's fantastic. So how can people get in touch with or learn about HERverse and all the good things?
Yeah, just HERverse.com. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Kristie Clayton. And I love to connect with people. So definitely reach out.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's been a ball. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for contributing to leaders everywhere, and appreciate having you here.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Well, and that's a wrap.
Thanks for tuning in to The Roll Call with John Glahn. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe for more insightful conversations. Remember, discovering your true role in life is a journey worth exploring each and every day. Until next time, keep defining your path and living your authentic self. This is John Glahn signing off.